Hey everybody, it's Marty the JavaScript Party, and one of my rare afternoon uh, videos. It is 4:22 p.m. I think it's probably 80-ish degrees Fahrenheit outside. Let's see what we got here. 85 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm getting ready. As soon as this is done, I will upload it and then take the dogs on a run to the park. I'm really shocked because I thought that the husky wouldn't be able to run in temperature, but he seems to be perfectly fine. Now he does enjoy, like we have a creek right next to us, and he does enjoy wading around in the creek afterwards. Unfortunately, he has to stay. Like I have three dogs, and two of them don't have to be on a leash. He has to be on a leash. He will not listen. He will not listen. He's really good at like. He's just really fun. He's really cool, but man, he don't listen. He don't listen at all, and I don't think he's ever gonna listen. And sometimes he will like I'll tell him to do things, and he will look me right in the eye, and then just not do it. And I haven't really been around too many dogs like that before, but he's just got such a great, lighthearted, happy-go-lucky attitude that it's sort of like, and he's not aggressive. He's not aggressive at all, so that really helps. He can kind of just be a goofball, but he can't come off the leash. So the other two dogs are on the leash, and he has to be on the leash with me. And so when he runs, he likes to pull. He really loves to just dig those back legs in and just yank me. So we'll be running, and he will just yank me, So it's a bit hard on my knees, but I think it is making my knees more robust. So here we are. We're right at the last steps of getting ready to do a push, and I really wanted to just add one sort of feature, not feature, but one test or one. Uh, I want to add something to a test, and basically what happens is at this part of the test, when we get here, I want to leave, go to the tabular view, and then um, come back. So basically, the equivalent of, let's see, is this one? No, this one. So basically, yeah, you can see everything. Kind of like do this, add viz, add viz, add viz, and then go to slash tabular, and then go to slash custom. Is that right? Oh no, something broke. Viz. I don't know what's going on. That's wild. Refresh. So this was working, I'm pretty sure. Tabular. I mean, that was like kind of the whole point. Then we close this, then we go here, and we come back. Okay, I do not know what happened there. Okay, so let's see if I add three of them. One, oh, one, two, three. I think we found a bug, it looks like. Okay, so when we did it before, we were here. We added three from this spot. And then I closed it, and then I manually went to tabular. And then I manually went back to custom. And then I couldn't add anymore. Oh, wait. Oh, it must be reloading. So it's sort of doing like, I guess if I do this. Oh, so it's doing a full reload, which I guess is fair. Yeah, that's fair. Okay, so then I guess what I have to do is click. Okay, so what I so what we want to do is come in here, go to this guy, add the 16, just like we did. Okay, and basically at the end of this one, then come over here, click this, and then click it again, and expect everything to be back there. I think if you type it in there, we're doing a full refresh of the page, so we obviously lose our memory. Well, I guess it wasn't that obvious, but anyways, so now that it's good, and it's good that we kind of typed it. We kind of tried it out on the browser because I had a bad um, idea in my head, and I had to get straightened out. All right, so basically, kind of come up to speed, get into our Cypress stuff. Um, and guess what we'll do is we'll go to Cypress, and we'll go to e2e, I guess, and then yeah, there's our resize. And I feel like it makes sense. It makes sense to do it in the resize. Um, you know, I think it's also it could be a routing thing. I could see that. Um, I think it's arguable which one it should be, but we do have code in routing, and then so we want to do this. Oops. Icon. So let's see what happens. And then, so basically this should take me to another, it should click on the menu item. Had a wonderful time having lunch with my sons. My eldest son paid, which was pretty cool. I feel like, I don't know, it's probably not, but it definitely, where my eldest son is about to be a father, it definitely had that sort of passing the torch sort of feel to it. It was really neat. Um, so I really enjoyed that. Now I guess we probably want to wait, huh? Want to add a little bit of weight to it. Um, I didn't bring Rhett in because she is well. So we got home today. There was a pretty good um, like you could just tell the dogs had just they had gotten it on. They had basically had a WWE or World Wrestling Federation sort of thing, because every like the furniture was just all over the place and the dog cages and all that. So they must have really just had a good time. So I think Rhett's gonna be fine. I fully expect this to work, but I fully know that like I want this. I don't this kind of thing that I could break pretty easily. So that's nice. God, that is so nice. Like if I in the future, if this breaks, it will become very obvious. Oh, I guess I should add that test again to make sure that the fourth one is actually in the right place. Mm, I guess it's just this, right? So this is the fourth one. I have to, and well, I mean, it was kind of nice because we've done all this without any help from AI or anything. Just using our old code and stuff, using resources, non-AI resources. Um, so that's a good feeling, but I definitely am not super comfortable with this code yet, this Cypress development. Yeah, yeah, I guess it's all done because we're at the custom. Um, so that's awesome. I guess what are we in? We are in like a little less than 10 minutes. So I guess I'll just commit everything. Um, so this was our basically, I don't really know exactly what we did here. I think all we did was get it to, oh, okay, so basically recreates the visualizations after a route change. This is basically what, from 30,000 feet, what we did here. And all that code looks nice and clean. I guess we should start at the top though. All right, that looks good. And I'm just looking for like smells. I'm not really looking for anything like big time. I'm just kind of looking for the basics. So we removed a bunch, and yeah, this was like kind of, for some reason there was, I think it was the margin ended up fixing everything, but then we also sort of had duplicate weird CSS that was basically left behind when we implemented, or when we installed Angular material. Let's see, it's kind of crazy that, yeah, so this is where we shifted from having the hard-coded custom layout to the router outlet. So that was good. So really this was implemented, the routing, in router outlet, and fixed bugs, and refactored. And that looks good to me. Let's see. That looks good. That looks good. Got rid of the constructor. Added this ignore hash thing because it wasn't redrawing when it came back. There's that. That was unit testing, and then here's some new functions for redrawing when you get back, and I think it all looks good. I guess we can kill this one right here. We'll just do a get status, get add dot, kind of look, make sure that all of these make sense. Yeah, I think that all looks good. Get commit dash m, and then what is this video? I don't even know what this video is going to be. Video 162. I remember when I did my very first video, just how absolutely terrifying the whole concept was. And then, you know, now it's just like, it feels so comfortable. And gosh, it's really paid off in my actual job, because, you know, we just do a lot of stuff online and on camera and stuff like that. And I do make videos instead of like wiki articles sometimes, because it's just so much easier just to video something. I really want to, there's a couple of YouTube channels that I think are really would work really well. There's this one, like Lee's China Talk. It's this lady who used to be like an analyst in China, and now she just sort of grinds through data and stuff and talks about things that are just happening in China. And I don't know, I think the fact that it's Chinese like isn't really like the thing. It's just I like listening to like intelligent people talk. And so she's just saying, hey, you know, this person is in this picture with that person, and this information happened there, and the small businesses of this, and blah 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 blah. And I think if it was like someone talking about just about any other country in the world, I would probably be just as interested. But I like how hers works, because what she does is she does like a 15-20 minute presentation, and then while she's doing her presentation, she does it live, right? She goes live, which is what I would love to do, and then, or what I'm really strongly considering doing, and then she answers the questions that are in the live chat. So I feel like that would work pretty good for me. So I'd say, okay, today I want to fix this bug. This is what I'm working on. blah, blah, blah. And then once I got the bug fixed or I've given up on it or whatever, then say, okay, are there any questions? And then answer any questions anybody has and just let it go wherever it takes me. I think that would be fun. It'd be really fun, and probably could be useful to people. And right now I don't have very many followers, subscribers, and I don't have, and so I probably wouldn't have many people watch me live. So it would give me a chance to sort of just grow with the channel. Like, you know, if there's 10 questions, at first I might get a question every 10 videos, and then maybe two questions or a question every 5 videos, and then slowly but surely I'd probably get more and more questions. Um, but and it's just sort of like adapting. Um, it's just like sort of just the way things are. Like the expectations of a software developer, like the young people coming up, they live on camera. They get on camera, they do things on camera. They're very comfortable on camera, and so then they've started to do things a certain way. And if I don't do things the way young people do things today, before long, I'm just not even going to be relevant anymore. And I really genuinely in like I don't know why people like want to retire, because I've never really seen that work out very well for anybody. It seems like we had, where I worked, there was a guy who was like 86 years old who he only retired. He was working as a software developer, and he only retired because he got hit by a car walking back between the legislation and the Senate. There was a girl who was looking at her phone and ran him over and put him in the hospital, and that was the only reason he retired. Um, but it was just like it's. I don't see any reason why you wouldn't want to work until till the very end. Why? What would be so much better off about not working? Because everyone I know that doesn't work, it's kind of hard to get along with. Um, and they get more and more difficult to get along with. And they seem to lose a lot of their faculties and stuff faster when they're not challenged. So I don't know. Anyway, so I need to sort of mimic what young kids do, and they spend a lot of time online, so I need to do the same thing, and it's kind of fun doing new stuff. So anyway, so this is video 162, and basically commits, router, outlet, implementation, and fixes associated fixes are and refactors for routing. Oh, I don't have my computer plugged in. There we go. Apparently Microsoft Defender would like to tell me that there's nothing wrong with my computer and let me pay them money so that they don't bug me as often. Refactors for component, destroy, and renew issues. I think that kind of sums it up. We're going to go ahead and push that. And here we are. So I think the next obvious, finally, and honestly, this is what we're trying to work towards, is the next thing will be, so on here, to redraw all these, but in a horizontal, like in a tabular layout. And then, once that's working, I don't know if it would be part of the next commit or maybe a following commit, add a delete button which then will give us the ability to delete. And then we'll have the C create, read, and delete. And then uh, and then comes the big part, which is update. And one thing about update that I just want to kind of iterate and reiterate over and over again is I do not want to lose everything between sessions. I want to be able to copy and paste things back in with the eye towards at one point, instead of copying and pasting, uploading. And as I've thought through this, I've realized that, like, so when we look at this, let's see if we're here. Like, this is a single mesh and some animations. It will be so much better when I can have two meshes than three meshes. But like, one thing that you should be able to import and all that would be a single mesh, but you should also be able to import an entire scene. So like, let's say that the visualization has two meshes in it, you should be able to do that. And then you should also be able to probably import this entire thing. And not only that, but as we move forward, like, a lot of times these cubes and stuff will have pictures on them. They'll have like other, they'll have fonts. You know, there might be a font. They'll have other things to them. So when we will probably need to be able to upload like a zip file that's got everything to regenerate a whole like set of these visualizations. So, you know, like, if it's important that when at this point, to try to not build it in such a way that prevents us from being able to move forward. I mean, prevents us from being able to sort of scale out that way. And um, now, I will say that I've done a great job at this point of, like, if you look in this code, um, if you look at this code, when you look at the services, like, we have this ST and we have the 3. The thing that killed the last thing, the thing that just we could not overcome, that was just like, can't happen, is that the way ThreeJS wants to view the world, the view animations and objects. Actually, ThreeJS doesn't even care about animations. The way it wants to view objects is not the same as the way I want to view objects. And so, like, one thing that just really, and it's not consistent. So, like, the way you move a light around might be different than the way you move a mesh around, the way you move a camera around, what the information you know about a camera, all that kind of stuff. Some of it they have, some of it they don't. And I want it the way I want it. So ST, everything in here defines how I want to view the world. So, like, one thing that I remember specifically is cameras. A camera, as the camera moves through space, what it's looking at is not, ThreeJS does not have that information of what it's looking at. But I care about what it's looking at. And so I want to store that information on the ST side, even though, like, I could say, hey, I want this camera is looking at 0.000. As that camera moves, the natural behavior of ThreeJS is for it to just move in space, not to be locked in. But then they have another concept of a kind of light that sort of aims at something, and that actually wants to be locked onto something. It doesn't just move in space. It wants to be, like, either locked onto a point or locked onto another object. So, like, that, all the way those things work on the ThreeJS side don't always correspond to the way I actually want my stuff to work. It got to where, as I was moving through and working on different parts, some things I would say, oh, this is going to take like 2 days for me to get done, would end up taking like 2 months for it to get done. And then there'd be other things, like, I thought changing meshes was going to take a month each, and then I ended up being able to do all the meshes in just like a day, or in like a week. So it's just like that. The way the code was is I didn't have a good grasp of what was going on in it. So, anyways, this is the second round at it. We are about halfway through the year, and yeah, we got so much farther in the first one, but it's the architecture is just so much more complex, and the um, unit tests have taken a long time, especially at first. They're not so bad now, but at first they were taking a long time, and cypress testing. Um, but anyways, I love cypress. I think it's so amazing. Anyways, 25 minutes. That's not too bad. We got work in the morning. Um, it is the 15th, and it's Sunday. So if you do your timesheet anything like mine, then you got to probably make sure this is probably the last day that you're supposed to do it for this first half of the year or the month, and all that. So have a wonderful evening. Get some sleep. See you in the morning. Bye.